Hey, it's Dave Knight here from 123daytrade.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. What a crock of crap I put myself into. And, you know, I obviously blame myself for my trading, um, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Drawdown. But I don't blame myself for knowing that, honestly, I was kind of worried about only being up $1,200 at the end of 10 days. I really wanted to be closer to $1,500 to $2,000 in the funded account, knowing that I will experience a drawdown. And I experienced a drawdown that brought me down below, more than I felt comfortable at trading. I went down to 279, 278 and change, and I decided to go ahead and take the money off the table and get a check. One of the biggest gripes I've got going right now is that they should be throwing a bone to people that have went 10 days successfully at least in Combine, 10 days successfully at least in FTP, and over 10 days of successfulness in the funded account. I actually traded 14 days. I look back and I won. I won the game how they put up the rules, and I'm physically getting a check from TopStep Trader. And that should be a great accomplishment for me, because each time I've been funded, I've been able to get a little bit further down the road. Now, my biggest gripes I got right now going is in the funded department, where I've put myself that you're having to, well, the best way to explain it is that when you first try to pass the Combine, you're kind of wading in crap, right? And each level you wade in a little bit more crap as you get moving through it. So to learn how to pass the Combine, you're kind of ankle deep in crap to figure it out how to get through it. And then how to pass funded trader preparation, well, you're knee deep in crap at this point, trying to pass it and try to figure out how to pass it and how to operate inside the FTP so that you can figure it out, the game itself. And and then the other side of this, after the third time in the funded account, I guess three, however you want to look at it, and the third time in the funded account is that you're waist deep in crap when you have the funding department telling you when and when you can't trade. And nothing wrong against them telling me, Mick and Hogue. I understand that they're trying to protect capital and they've got the gold and you got to follow the rules. But each different, what my point is that each different level, you got to learn that there's a new set of rules. And then to top it off, there's an unwritten set of rules that aren't written, and you can't find them anywhere on the website inside TopStep Trader, and they're not going to be listed there. It's inside the trading room itself that they tell you when you can trade, when you can't trade. For instance, like the FOMC statement today, you wouldn't have been able to trade in front of that. You would have to be clear of that. Now, would I have been able to keep in the trade that went down at to 41, roughly where I was thinking the market was going to go at 41.66? And the answer is, I believe, is yes, because 1312 is, well, let's look at Forex Factory because that'll tell you the real time, right? You got to be cleared of this at least 5 minutes prior. So no. So you would need to be clear of it, I think, at least 5 minutes, and they might even be 15 minutes. I can't remember. But let's just say you had to be clear at 12:55. So they wouldn't let anybody have a trading position on 5 minutes prior to the FOMC statement being released today. And I was looking for 41.66, and I think it went down here, and let's just take a look and see where it went to. So, and then let's mark the charts where you'd have to be out. Let's put the vertical line in at 12:55. So right here is where you'd have to close out your trade in the funded account. So basically, to make a long story short, if I would have continued on the trade today, which it's play money at this point, so I don't really care. When I'm in my practice account, it's just play money. But what I did see is another re-entry point off of a fake out right through here as we went up through the S1, and then I believed that there was a nice trade to take on right underneath here, which was that low. I had 18. Well, I had 19 as a target. I mean, excuse me, as an entry point. 1918, I believe, somewhere in that area. So if I would have said, okay, 4218, 4217, I think 4219. So if I plug that in to the original part of it, so 4247 was where I originally found value to trade, and it took me out. And then the second trade, when I saw value again, was 4219, and then you see that 3P would bring it down to 4163. Now, did it go down that far? No, it didn't go as far as 4163 or 4166. Now, 4166 was a big number for me, right? I showed you that. Let me just refresh your mind or your memory once again of why I like 4166, because it was 50% a downward facing dog. It was a downward movement to 4166 that I believed that we were going to run, and now we're down there. Now where are we going to go? We're going to go down to 3906 to 61.8. I don't know. It'll probably it might sort of just mellow out for a while and then make a break. You know, we just had the crude oil inventory report come out, and that was the trade that I took in the practice account because I closed out my funded account. I mean, I had 3 days worth of drawdown. I knew that I was hoping that I wouldn't get it, but you know, not every trading day works out. And I experienced 2 days or 3 days and sometimes even 4 days of trading losses before I start turning the corner. And you know, some days you're on, some days you're off. You know, it's very quick to accumulate 3 losses in a row when you're off. You know, if you lose 10 ticks at 3 times, at 3 losses in a row, you're down 30 ticks just like that. And it doesn't take long to accumulate losses as a trader. So a lot of times, yeah, I'll go 2 losses and 1 win, and occasionally I grab that 1 win. I look at today as in the inventory report when it came out at 9:31. I originally went long based upon this bar right here, right in this area. I went long. It ran me out right there, minus 11 ticks, I believe. And then I went short in right here. I don't know if you can see that, but here's the long signal. That's my stop loss. This was my re-entry point right there. And then when it rolled back up to, not this time around, but when it rolled back up at this time, see that little blue X, that's where the entry exit was at. So you think, wow, that's a long time, but 1025 entry point, 931 entry point, 1025 exit. I was in almost an hour. I only pulled out 10 ticks. And then right around this area, I believe that there was a valid trade setup that if I was trading in the funded account, and I would have taken this on to see where it would have went to. And this would have been a 2P move for me to take it down, although I said that you'd have to be out right here at 41.55. So probably right around this area as we reached down to S2, I believe, would have been where I would have said out, and where we were around about basically 41.77 to 41.66. We were be close enough. Right here would have been a great point, 41.73, and wrap that around 10 ticks and come out at 41.83. So I imagine that would be how I would have traded it if I would have had skin in the game, meaning that it really mattered and it counted to like the combine or the funded trader preparation or something. This is where I would have seen value right here, you know, as it crosses over that yellow line. I'd have been out of the trade, and then, you know, I think would have been able to pull out roughly 2P on the trade, 38 minus the 11. So I would have had 3 trades on the day, 2 wins, 1 loss. I'd had 10 ticks plus another 37, 38 on this trade. Would have pulled out about 48 ticks or $480 on this given trading day. So, you know, I accumulated more losses than I cared. On that one day, I went down 469. I talked about that. I should have held that to 399 or lower. So I gave up a little bit more than I wanted to. And the last 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, when I was trading, just unfortunately it didn't work out. You go back and look at one of the trading situations that involved, it was one of those revenge type of trading situations I got myself involved in, trying to catch the market, that missed opportunity trade, that I wasn't able to read that blog post with TST Globex, a handcuffing of that trade, not being able to trade the Globex open right there. And I'm sitting with basically 76 to 50 ticks worth of gain that was fictionary. I couldn't, there's not, that would have pulled me out of my dilemma. I was down $519 at that point. You add $700-800 back into the account, I'm back to a new account high, right? So it's the bullshit that you got to wade through at this point that I'm getting to. So being waist deep in crap is what I can liken it to. To know that there's a set of rules that are not written inside TopStep Trader, inside the funding department, that you have to negotiate, move around, and figure out how to work inside of it. I have fought tooth and nail to get them to give an exception here and give an exception there. I really fought hard for the CL pitch strategy to come back in, the economic release after 1 minute. They relented after a while, but there was a lot of money left on the table that I did not get through Brexit, through them deciding. There's a lot of crap that went on that I don't place all the blame fully on myself. I honestly believe if they would allow me to trade through the volatility, my trading account balance would have been a lot higher. I wouldn't have been having to worry about, having to withdraw money. I would have been withdrawing money from a winning standpoint, from being up $3,000, $4,000, and then be able to withdraw based upon my trading plan. The market volatility. I'm a volatility trader, and I've told them that over and over and over again in the funding department, and they got to stop handcuffing me in my trading. That's my bottom line when it comes down to it. I know what I'm doing, and I just wish they would stop effing with me and stop screwing with me in my mindset. If that's their plan, to screw with me in my trading, well, now I've made myself a plan to just fucking ignore them, basically, so that they can, if they want to play a game with me, then, I'm going to have to play within inside their game, and maybe I got to start wading down where it's up to my neck now of crap that I've got to deal with to get my money out of TopStep Trader. I am determined to get my money out of TopStep Trader unless they themselves at TopStep Trader do not allow me to continue. All right, Dave Knight here from 123daytrade.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. I'd like to be an ambassador of hope for TopStep Trader, but you know what? There's got to be a meeting of the minds, and they need to meet me halfway. God bless. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video I put together. Bye for now.